It's time to put the Matt Eberflus story and era to bed for once and for all. My name is Harrison Graham. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now, and I'm biting the bullet. Enough of you guys DM me. Enough people were talking about it. Matt Eberflus went on the record and was asked about the whole did Caleb Williams watch film story last year or not, that whole thing. So we're going to get into it. And then I'm just going to tell you the truth about why things went south with Matt Eberflus and why Caleb Williams' rookie year could have looked a whole lot better. But we do have a subscriber battle happening in the month of June. Vikings now has a little bit of a lead on us. We got to take down the Vikings, play them in week 1. If you want to have daily and free Bears content, hit that subscribe button. Let's take down Vikings now and my guy, Patrick Seatman. All right, Eberflus talks Bears as he joined the Doomsday podcast to talk mostly about the Cowboys. That's a Cowboys show, but he was asked about the ESPN report with that quote that I think over time has been taken out of context about Caleb saying, no one tells me what to watch on the film, yada, 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 which we heard Caleb clarify that, which we'll get to in a second. But a lot of people were talking about this online, so I said, you know what, I will bite the bullet here. Here's what Eberflus had to say, saying that in the development of the quarterback position and really all my positions at the Bears, we always had daily coach film sessions. That was all throughout the entire year, so that's what I observed. That's where it was. That's where it was. That's a classic Flus end of quote phrase there. Caleb never said they didn't watch film. Even in the kind of, not misquoted, but out of context quote in the ESPN release of Seth Wickersham's book, which comes out in September, that was never said. What was said was that he would call his dad and be like, yeah, I don't really have guidance on how to watch film, but they weren't talking about the scheduled film sessions with the team. It was more about like the after hours work that quarterbacks put in to watch extra film, and he didn't feel like he had enough infrastructure to do that in an efficient manner, which is what he said here to clarify that quote. He said, I was trying to figure out the best and most efficient ways so that I can watch more film. I can gather more information so that when I do go out there on game day, that information I gathered through Monday when we got back all the way up to whenever the game day is. Again, and this is a big part of the Case Keenum signing, is having that extra support, that mentor type of after hours. If coaches are working on game planning or whatever and you're looking to get some extra film work in, well, a Case Keenum can help. Or having a coach designated to do that. It seems like that was the miss. Not that they didn't watch film in the QB room at all. Like, obviously they did that. But it was the extra stuff. And he didn't have guidance from someone. Should he have asked someone? Should the Bears have had someone designated to him? Who knows? I'm not really that concerned about looking back at that moving forward, but that's really the translation here, is that he didn't have the extra support that he needed outside of the, in-hours film study already built into the team's schedule, which, quarterbacks have to watch a lot more film other than just the 90-minute sessions daily that they do, or whatever the case is for a standard NFL team. Look, here's what we do know. There is a lot of evidence that tells us that Matt Eberflus was just in over his head. I mean, and you saw the signs early. It wasn't just last year. I mean, you think about the fourth quarter blown leads in 2023, Justin Fields last year as a starter. 2022 is kind of a wash because they just had a terrible roster. That was a complete teardown. But then that continued into 2024, which we will detail for you guys here in just a little bit. But all I know is I'm excited about the Ben Johnson era. This is why I didn't really want to talk about this today, but I'm going to. And coming up in a little bit, we're going to outline just how Caleb Williams' rookie season could have gone better. But type me if you're excited about the Ben Johnson era. We'll talk about Matt Eberflus' shortcomings and how he and the Bears let Caleb down in some key spots last year. But we got to tell you about a brand new sponsor coming up first. Today's show is sponsored by Bear Mattress. You can get 40% off at bearmattress.com/chatsports. Code chatsports to get 40% off. Bear Mattress is a premium fiberglass-free mattress designed to upgrade your sleep improve your overall quality of life, and it's conveniently shipped to your doorstep for free. I got to tell you, my process of getting my Bear mattress was seamless. Got delivered straight to my doorstep, very easy to unpack in a reasonably sized box. It's rolled up, and then once you kind of start unpacking it, it'll just inflate for you. Then you can just place it right on your box spring. You are ready to go. My son PJ loves it. He's always coming to hang out with mom and dad. Very comfortable and fun for him as well. Slept on my Bear mattress for the first time on Sunday night, which was much needed after a long weekend at a wedding. And got to tell you, I slept fantastic. So well, in fact, that I've recently been working out again at night. I knocked out my workout in the morning because I felt so refreshed when I woke up. The best part about Bear mattress as well is that you're going to get the perfect mattress for you. Why is that? Because the Bear quiz that they have you take is going to get you a result of that perfect mattress. I took my quiz and it matched me up with the Bear Elite Hybrid Soft, which provides ample support, great cooling, and a pillow top soft feel. The purpose of this quiz is to make sure you get the best product for your body type and your sleep preferences. Bear Mattress also offers a 120-night sleep trial to test the mattress out and make sure you love it. Plus, you get a limited lifetime warranty and offer financing options and flexible payment plans as well. I love my Bear mattress, and I think you will too. If you're looking to upgrade your sleep, head over to bearmattress.com/chatsports. Use code chatsports, all one word, to get 40% off your Bear mattress. This is higher than what's being offered on site, so be sure to check them out while you can. Help support the channel as well here at Bears Now, and tell them we sent you in their post-purchase survey. All right, let's get to the truth, at least how I see it, and I think there's plenty of evidence to back it up. And, you know, you hear this narrative of Caleb Williams had this horrible rookie season, and I think a lot of that is just Jaden Daniels had this awesome rookie year, which there's no doubt he had a much better year than Caleb. But I do think, given all the factors, Caleb's rookie season actually wasn't that bad, and I think in a lot of ways was actually pretty good, and had there not been shortcomings by the coach, it would have looked a whole lot better. Let's get to when things really started to fall apart. The Hail Mary debacle. Look, Bears were 4-2, coming off an awesome performance in London where Caleb had a breakout performance of 4 touchdown passes against the Jacksonville Jaguars, had the bye week, vibes were high. It was a scrappy game, really a choppy, ugly game. To be honest, for the most part, Caleb did not play well, but they battled, they hung in there, they took the lead, and then just a disaster in the final 30 seconds, 25 seconds, I think. I think that's how much time was left after the touchback. Eberflus just completely mismanaged the situation. It's been well documented. We talked about it a lot at the time. Dan Quinn acknowledged that they were given a gift by Matt Eberflus when the play before the Hail Mary, they just lined everybody back in the end zone for the most part, other than the defensive line, and gave Washington a free 15-yard out route to the sideline when they had no timeouts left. If they play that straight up, defend the sidelines, you're probably not going to get some yards and get out of bounds with 6 seconds left when they took that snap. And then, of course, instead of calming everybody down, taking a timeout, during or before the Hail Mary, they let that play out. Tyreek Stevenson's not paying attention, and we all know what happened. And sure, I'm not going to blame Flus for Tyreek, but logic in that situation is you just take a timeout and change personnel if you need to, get taller players in the defense, whatever the case may be. And I think worse than all of that, where he lost the locker room, was the refusal to own up to those mistakes. After the game, said everything was how they wanted it. There was no concerns there, even though the video evidence popped up that Tyreek wasn't even ready. He completely defended giving up those 15 extra yards, even though the next day, Dan Quinn said without those free 15 yards, they would not have even been able to realistically attempt a Hail Mary. They probably would have just had the, short pass, lateral it around, try to pull off a miracle type of play. So it was just a disaster. And Kevin Byard came out and was like, yeah, you don't give up those yards in that play or in that situation. You defend the sideline. And he just lost the team at that point in time. Oh, and by the way, 2 drives before Caleb Williams' go-ahead drive, really 2 go-ahead drives because I give him credit for this one, driving him straight down the field. Shane Waldron calls the fullback dive to Doug Kramer, and you could say, oh, that's on Shane, and yeah, it mostly is, but Eberflus is the head coach. He's on the headset. He can override that call. Like, hey, we're not going fullback dive to our backup center in this high leverage spot. We're going to save that for a low leverage situation. Didn't do it, and that erased the first go-ahead drive, and still Caleb Williams drove back down and took the lead with less than 30 seconds left. He went 6 for 8, 98 yards in the fourth quarter, and like I said, basically 2 go-ahead drives. The first one was taken away by one of the worst goal line play calls you'll ever see, but to battle through that adversity and drive down and still put him in position to win, that's one win that was taken away for Caleb's rookie year. Number 2, the just what I would call scared ending in the first game against the Packers. If you remember that game, it obviously ended in a fingertip blocked field goal of Cairo Santos. And the play before, Caleb Williams hit Keenan Allen on about a 12-yard out route to get him to the 28-yard line. They had one timeout left. They could have spiked the ball quickly or used that timeout, tried to get closer after that, and instead, Eberflus coach scared, let 30-plus seconds run down, took a timeout with 3 seconds, and settled for a 46-yard field goal. Any aggressive-minded coach is at least going to run up there, spike the ball, and at least hand the ball off once, try to get a few yards, whatever the case may be. Instead, he got scared, settled for a 46-yarder, and the kick was blocked. And don't forget what Caleb did on that final drive. He erased a 3rd and 20, hit Rome Odunze on a 4th down up the right sideline, hit Keenan Allen on that out route like I mentioned, 3 or 4 big-time throws to put them into field goal range, and you took the ball out of his hands once you got into field goal range. I'm not saying you go crazy once you got within range there, but why not run the ball at least once? Why not try to get within 40 yards? I mean, the closer you get, all the data shows, it just increases your odds of making that kick, and Cairo's a low-flighted kicker, so the longer it is, the lower the flight's going to be. Just, again, a mismanaged situation. And then, of course, the end. The Thanksgiving finale. The end of Matt Eberflus as he was fired the next day. This photo will be entrenched in our memories forever. It's kind of his Matt Nagy double doink moment. That was kind of it for Matt Eberflus as well. Again, let 30 seconds run off instead of using his final timeout after Caleb was sacked. And sure, a veteran quarterback, a more experienced quarterback, probably gets up quick, or, gets the line of scrimmage quicker in that situation, runs a play. But you got to recognize after those first 6-7 seconds run down, they're disorganized. They're not ready. You have to take a timeout in that spot, and he just didn't do it. He froze, for a lack of a better term, and then the game ended on an incompletion. When you were 6 yards away from field goal range, you only needed 5 to 7 yards to have a realistic shot, and you didn't even get a shot. And that was the end of that. And remember, that was the game in which the Bears were down 16-0 at halftime, and Caleb goes nuclear in the second half, throwing for 222 yards, 3 touchdowns, and had no turnovers. And look, what's my point of revisiting all this? Well, one, just to kind of recognize this Matt Eberflus quote and what he said. And he didn't really say anything too bad, right? He just defended himself and his coaching staff. Yeah, we had daily film sessions. We know that. I don't think anyone actually thought that they never watched film at all. It was just, where was the infrastructure for this number 1 pick investment after hours? You should have that in place. Where's the offensive quality control coach? Nowhere to be found, apparently. And what drives me crazy is you hear all these narratives of Caleb, empty stats, and Bears fans, they salivate that he threw for 3,500 yards and 20 touchdowns and 6 picks. I've said it was an up-and-down rookie year. But is it empty stats just because they were come from behind games sometimes and the coaching failed at the end? If the field goal doesn't get blocked in Green Bay, or if they get closer and end up winning, is that an empty stat game? If they go into overtime in Detroit and find a way to win, or hell, even lose in overtime, are those empty stats? I don't see how they're empty stats if they're losing in crazy fashion at the end of the game. So that's really my point, is to defend Caleb here, because the infrastructure around him was pretty bad, especially from a coaching standpoint. Does that mean Caleb's going to be great moving forward? I have no idea. I believe in him. I believe in the talent. Doesn't mean it's going to work. Does this mean Eberflus is a bad guy? Of course not. It just means that he and his coaching staff were not qualified. They were not good enough. It's one of the most embarrassing coaching staffs and just lack of execution in obvious situations that we've ever seen. And it happened week after week after week. So, yeah, I'm ready to move past it, to be honest. The next time I talk about Matt Eberflus, I want it to be in week 3 when the Bears play the Cowboys. Don't want to revisit last year anymore, but enough of you guys wanted me to talk about it. So there you have it, putting this situation to bed. Okay. Is Caleb Williams the answer at quarterback for the Bears? Finally, do they have their guy? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think they do. Obviously, we have to see more, but I do think Ben Johnson's going to help get the best out of Caleb. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Chicago Bears Now. Please go check out Bear Mattress. They are fantastic, so comfortable. They're going to get you locked in with the perfect mattress for you. Again, link, promo code in the description of this video. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll see you guys next time.